consumer, not so much, because I mean they're not involved that much on politics and WHO and legislations. I mean, we are trying to educate them, and I mean I've promoted some consultations from the EU. We had a very good feedback from Greek consumers, but that's not enough. I mean, WHO's power is a lot more than ours.
Hello, world. Welcome to the Vaping Unplugged podcast. Everything you need to know about vaping and tobacco harm reduction.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Vaping Unplugged podcast. My name is Lika Janeliza, and today I have a guest, Nick Christophides, aka Nick Ramses, who is a EU marketing specialist at Monster Vape Labs. He's also a YouTuber and the founder of Greek Vapers Alliance. Thank you so much, Nick, for joining us today. I think everyone, our audience, and me as well, are very interested to hear from you about your personal story of how you got into vaping and about Greek Vapers Alliance and what's currently happening, ongoing situation in Greece as well. So thank you so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for inviting me, Lika. I thank Vapers Alliance, World Vapers Alliance, for having me at this podcast. I'm Nick Christophides. I know it's hard to pronounce, so I changed it to my nickname that I used for years, which is Ramses. So I did it Nick Ramses because the company I work is also American, so it's hard to pronounce. So I'm using this as an alliance.
Great. Thank you. So let's start with you telling us about your personal story, how you got into vaping and what Greek Vapers Alliance does.
Is about. Okay. I used to smoke for 22 years. I quit smoking and started vaping at 2011. I tried it first time at 2009. They had these Cigalikes, they were called, but it was a failure. So 2 years later, I started vaping like normally. And since then, I'm a vapor. I'm also a YouTuber that's dedicated to vaping. And recently, I mean, it's still in the making. It's the third try for someone in Greece to create an association for consumers, for vape consumers. So I was in contact with the World Vapers Alliance, and we were talking about doing something here in Greece, which I think is needed. So I'm the founder also of the Greek Vapers Alliance.
Great. And we're very happy to work with you, definitely in Greece. So my next question is about vaping and smoking in Greece. With the smoking rates in Greece are quite high, right? With about 39% of the adult population being currently smokers, which is down from 42% in 2006. Yeah. And with those facts, numbers in place, what is the legislative framework like for vaping and less harmful nicotine alternatives? And what challenges is vaping going through, and what implications does this legislative framework has for consumers?
Okay. Basically, Greece, since it's in the European Union, it follows all the legislations that the EU is giving out. We have our own legislations and laws on vaping that are not the same. I mean, it's like an extra thing from the EU legislations. I mean, basically, we have the same issues that all Europe has at the moment. I mean, I think we're more of we're not the legislation are not that harsh. The Greek legislation is not that harsh yet, so we're waiting for TPD3 and see what's going to happen. I mean, I'm working with so many companies that are in the EU, like Italy, like Czech Republic, Poland, and they're a lot more strict than we are. So we are all waiting to see what's going to happen here in Greece. We know, in fact, that the politicians have no clue what vaping is about. They're like going like blindfolded and follow the WHO proposals and the EU proposals without researching, without uh, being educated on vaping. So this is something that concerns us a lot, and vapers, consumers mostly. So we're like, we're on the waiting still.
So, as you mentioned, the current legislative framework is less relaxed, right? For consumers, from consumer perspective, of vaping is and safer nicotine alternatives are more or less accessible in Greece, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we use long
Okay.
fills. I mean, we have taxes, and we're waiting for more taxes. Recently, we had a kind of a ban for flavors to come in the country. And recently, also, I read that vaping and smoking is going to be prohibited also in public places. Has to do with a tobacco-free generation proposal. So we're still, I mean, nothing is signed yet, but we hear all this stuff about taxes, about banning flavors, about even banning flavors to sell on retail shops. So we're still on the wait.
Okay, understandable. And with the upcoming, you mentioned tobacco products directive. Do you think there will be further threats that vaping might face in Greece?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I mean, one of it is the tax. I mean, most of the countries in the EU, they have tax stamps. In Greece, we don't have tax stamps yet. That means that the liquids and everything else that has nicotine or just flavor is going to be more expensive, and that's what worries the consumers mostly. Uh, and I guess also the retailers. I mean, selling something more expensive that you used to sell like 5, 6, 7 euros less a month back. I mean, it's a concern for them. I'm guessing, and yeah, I mean, I know about disposables. They want to ban disposables as well. They want to put more taxes in even disposables, liquids, bottle liquids, nicotine, non-nicotine. I mean, even now
Yeah.
they go into shops and they ban and take non-nicotine liquids, and they say, no,
Mm.
if you can vape it, it's with nicotine, so we're gonna take it from you. We're gonna get a fine or stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah, I would see that happening in lots of countries, and it's just
Yeah,
sad.
yeah, and we're not that strict yet. I'm telling you that we're
Mm.
not that strict. I mean, I can see from other countries they're a lot more strict, even for importing liquids into their country. They have to go all this paperwork and procedures. I mean, we're good still, but I don't think it's going to be for long.
Yeah, I definitely understand. We've seen that happen, right? That it might be a little relaxed currently, but it can change so quickly, and we have a lot of work to do, and that's why we just cannot be as relaxed, like that's
Yeah, yeah,
we still
no. I
have
mean,
to.
Greeks
It's
are a bit slow anyway. I mean, we're too relaxed, I think, and we're slow with everything. I mean, especially when something has to do with paperwork and bureaucracy and all
Hmm.
that.
I understand. So, what vaping is definitely targeted by massive misinformation in media as well, and other health authorities. So, what's the situation in Greece like? What are the most common misconceptions around vaping?
Number one thing is most of the people which are who are uneducated, they think that smoking is better than vaping. And the myths about vaping, I think it's similar to all countries, even the United States, even in Europe or anywhere. Popcorn lung, liquids in the lung. There are no many research about vaping, so it must be worse than smoking. And that's why I'm trying to build this association so we can debunk the myths surrounding vaping, educate politicians, educate legislators, educate the public, which is, I think, the number one thing we should do, because the word of mouth, it's strong, you know. So if 10 people say vaping is bad to people that are uneducated, for them vaping is bad. So that's our number one priority as an association and as vapers. I think. I mean, most of the vapers that um, get involved with advocacy, that's what they're trying to do: educate the public and anyone that can. I mean, even from um, uh, teenagers that vape, which is a concern as well, because that's where politicians target the ban of vaping, and also older people that they smoke for years and they're trying to quit with some different ways. So we're telling them that vaping is a good way to do that.
Hmm. Yes, definitely. I couldn't agree more. I think educating public has and working with policymakers as well to educate them is one of the crucial
Yep.
aspects of our shared main goal. So you also mentioned WHO. What are the effects of WHO's agenda on harm reduction in Greece, in your opinion?
um, I think it has to do with TPD. I mean, the lobbies and politicians, it's their word against ours. It's WHO's word against ours. If WHO says something about vaping, that it's bad, that it's harmful, that's what they're gonna believe. So as of now, that's what we see on lobbies and politics. So it's a struggle. I mean, WHO is WHO, and we're just vapors for them. They think we have no idea. They think we just like flavors. They think that we're pushing teenagers to vape. They don't see, I mean, in Greece, if you're like 13 or 14 and you go to a kiosk and ask for cigarettes, they're going to give you cigarettes. And their issue is that the minors go and vape dispos or gummies or whatever that has to do with vaping. So I mean, 13 years old smoking is okay. I don't hear anyone saying something. I mean, yeah, it is prohibited, but they can still go and buy it. But whenever it comes to vaping, it's like it's a tragedy. It's a disease. It's an epidemic.
Yeah, can see that happening definitely. And do you think like a lot of people listen to what WHO says?
The consumer, not so much, because I mean they're not involved that much on politics and WHO and legislations. I mean, we are trying to educate them, and I mean I've promoted some consultations from the EU. We had a very good feedback from Greek consumers, but that's not enough. I mean, WHO's power is a lot more than ours, so that WHO affects the politicians and the lawmakers. So, I mean, consumers they just wait and see what's going to come next. TPD one, TPD two, TPD three. They keep asking what's TPD three gonna have, and I mean, I've been searching and researching on TPD three and talking to people the past like 2 years about, and they've changed so many times. They're going to ban this, then they're not going to ban that. Now they're going to ban it, and then they're going to put taxes on other stuff, and then they're going to do this and that. It changes. I mean, you can see that politicians are not educated at all. So we're waiting. We're just waiting. I mean, it's a constant wait. And every time, even on my channel, every time I have a show, they keep asking me, what's coming? Did you hear anything? When is TPD3 coming? It was supposed to come in October, but now nothing yet. So yeah, we're kind of
Same,
lost.
same. We're also waiting to see what's going to
Yeah,
happen
yeah.
for
I
sure.
think it was gonna come out on October, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be February, and then they changed it to October, and then now it's 2025 sometime. So
We'll definitely see. Does it happen that how involved are, let's say, medical workers or doctors? Like, how is the situation there? Would that be something like harm reduction tools? Would that be something they recommend if adults are seeking ways to quit smoking?
I
Um,
mean, there are doctors that are they're pro vaping, and there are doctors that are anti vaping.
mm,
We have in Greece, you probably know him, Konstantinos Fatsalinos. He does researches on vaping, and he's an
of
advocate
course.
as well. But that's about it. I mean, we don't have as many doctors that are involved in vaping, like pro vaping.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean, if you go to a cardiologist, they might say, quit smoking, start vaping, it's fine. Then you go to a pneumologist, and they say, no, vaping is bad. I mean, smoke 3 cigarettes is better than vaping. And next door, it's their office that they give you medicine to quit smoking. So
Yeah, we definitely wish more medical workers would be involved in this because
hmm
WHO, yes, definitely they don't have influence on politicians, but also maybe medical workers are following in their agenda. So it's always
sure,
interesting to
sure.
see
And
how that
pharmaceutical
works.
companies and tobacco companies, maybe.
Mm,
I mean, it's a
yeah,
lobby. I
so
mean, it's
mm,
money. Whenever money is involved, what happens.
definitely. So um, we gotta keep working and
We
um,
do, we do. I mean,
yes,
I'm trying to build this association for like a year and a half. The bureaucracy here in Greece, it's crazy. I mean, we have it registered, we have everything, and now we're trying to get a bank account because we're getting funded from the CCC. Because that's what was the issue on the other two associations we tried to create. I was at the board of the first one as a consultant, and it didn't work. I mean, my point of view is that if someone is not getting paid to do something, he's not going to do it that well. So when I decided to create the Greek Vapers Alliance, I said that I need to get a fund, so whoever works for the association gets paid and has tasks that he has to complete, and he has to be focused on what he does. That way we can control what's going on, and not saying, okay, I don't have the time now, and it's like a job. That's how I think it can only work. I think this time is going to work better, I would say. So we'll see.
hope
We'll
so.
see. But it's still a struggle. I mean, bureaucracy here is it's amazing. I mean, you have no idea.
No, well, it's really sad to hear, and definitely good luck. I really hope it works out.
Hopefully next month we'll be good to go and start doing things. I mean, we are
Great,
still, but in the background.
awesome, great. I look forward to it, and I hope we can
Me too. Me too.
collaborate. Yeah.
Yep.
So, what would be your message to consumers? How should they stand for vaping?
My message, I tell them all the time because I have some followers on YouTube, is try to educate everyone, your friends, your parents, anyone you see and talks to you about vaping, that it's bad, or asks questions on how vaping is. try to educate them from your personal experience. And the other thing I always say is, guys, don't be scared. I mean, uh, we see articles about vaping and how vaping is bad and myths and stuff like that, and everyone gets scared that they're gonna stop vaping products, it's gonna stop liquids, hardware, flavors. So what I tell them is, vaping will always be there, but maybe it will change in a different way on how we buy stuff, or nicotine, or how many mLs a liquid will be, price as well. But I'm sure that it's always going to be there. But we have to fight for it, and we have to do things for it, and not just sit and wait what the next TPD will bring.
For sure, definitely, we need to stand up, and that's
Exactly.
why I always say this. We always, especially to with our members, and when activists we're in contact with, we keep repeating this, how important it is that everyone speaks up, even if it's
Hmm.
just sharing your personal story, how vaping helped you, or how you switched from smoking, and just talking about this, everyone sharing more. I think is one of the crucial aspects from our side to, speak up, and especially since in EU. We see it lots more that there are consultations open, right? So that
Hmm.
consumers can actually submit their opinions. So it's I would say, again, it's crucial that everyone, especially vapers, they just we stand up for it more and speak up more.
Yeah, that's the main
So
thing. We have to motivate and activate vapers. I mean, in most of the EU consultations that I promoted, we were like on number 3 on the list. I mean, in like 2 or 3
good.
consultations I promoted, we were number 3. And then I said, yeah, okay, we are number 3, but we don't have someone to represent the consumers. I mean, we had the associations before, but they did nothing. So I think that's what's missing in Greece at the moment. An association, like a group of enthusiasts, so they can motivate and activate all vapors, and of course educate the public and legislators, lobbies, and stuff like that.
So I'm really glad to see that you are there now, and um, hopefully from
Hopefully,
the
I'll
next
make it this
month
time.
everything works out, and you will be,
I mean, it's all about the
everything will
support
be
of vapors.
true. Definitely, of
Yeah,
course it is.
yeah.
You do have our support, and I definitely look forward
I know,
to
and thank you, and
working.
thank you. Thank you. I mean, and Consumers Choice Center, I thank them as well, and World Vapers Alliance, because they're funding us to start. Because you can't start without funding. I mean, there's so many things that we want to do, promotional wise. I mean, even to start an association, it takes time, it takes money, it takes people. So nobody's going to do it for free. So I thank you and the Consumers
Understandable.
Choice Center as well.
Definitely. Again, good luck. I think that's everything. We covered everything on my end. Unless there's something you wanted to add, Nick.
No, I
Anything
hope
else
we
on
have
your
another
mind?
podcast when TPD3 is out, and we know what to talk about and how we're going to
For
fight
sure.
that. Because, I mean,
Hmm.
everything is very liquid at the moment. So,
For sure. And I hope it happens really soon,
me too.
so we can
Me too.
get on
At
with
least we
our
know
plans as well.
what to expect.
Yeah, what we're standing against for.
Yeah.
For sure. Again, good luck with everything, Nick. I look forward to
Thank you.
working with you further. And
Yep.
thank you so much for being with me today. I think this was very interesting for our listeners as well, to hear more about Greece. And hopefully, we talk some more again for our future plans as well.
Sure.
Um, yeah, thank you for being here today with
Thank
us.
you.
And
Thank
thanks
you. Thank you
everyone
for
for
your
listening.
support. again, thank you everyone who's gonna watch this, and please support vaping, and we should fight for it.
Yes, definitely. Vape on, everyone.
Yep.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.